to welcome you tonight to this celebration and happy hour to honor our beloved Tara. I don't normally read from notes. I'm usually quite good about just speaking what I feel, but tonight is so important, and I won't get through this either without having my notes. Terry used to say, well, I've had brain surgery, and so that's why I'm reading. And I'm reading because of how hard this is for all of us tonight. So we're here to celebrate an extraordinary young woman. I met Tara about a year and a half ago, and I've been practicing medical oncologist for over 25 years. My practice is pretty much exclusively focused on melanoma, and I have never met a patient like Tara. She's extraordinary, and I've never met a family like the Millers throughout this entire journey. Both Tara and her family have inspired us, as all of you have. The outpouring of support from her friends and from this community has been something unbelievable, and also something that I've not previously witnessed. And the palpable love that I have seen every day, every hour, has also been extraordinary. And I would say one of the most remarkable silver linings over the past year is really your phenomenal support and love. So Tara was extraordinary and special in so many ways. And after reflecting how in such a short time she touched so many people, I've come up with very many different dimensions of what I'd like to share with you about Tara. First was her approach to how she fought melanoma. She was direct and head-on with this diagnosis. She was positive. She was unbelievably knowledgeable about her disease. She researched things. She researched who she should see, what was the right treatment. She was inspiring. She was courageous. She was brave, and she was remarkably fearless. She was relentless in finding the exact right treatment for her at every stage of her illness. She went through countless surgeries, mostly brain surgeries, as you know, endless scans, many different treatments, all associated with symptoms and significant side effects. And not once, I'm telling you, not once, did she complain or say, why me? Never. When faced with another bad scan or side effect from a treatment, she always moved forward. What's next? What's the plan? What clinical trial can I go on? She always found something positive in those moments, and I saw this over and over again and couldn't believe her incredible strength and her positive outlook. She always found the silver lining, which became her guiding principle and her approach throughout this cancer journey. All the doctors, nurses, and staff who met Tara and her family felt such a deep connection with her. Everybody wanted to help. She touched us in such an extraordinary way. It's very hard to let a team of doctors and nurses and staff in this way. And the Miller family and Tara just let us all in. And we're so deeply appreciative for letting us in and letting us help take care of her. And her connection with the physicians was not just at Penn. It was at MD Anderson, all the different disciplines at Penn. It was radiation oncology, surgery, neurosurgery, and also at Shore Memorial. And they came through in so many different ways to help support her. All recognized that she was an extraordinary young woman fighting for her life. So first, she's extraordinary because of how she approached her cancer, bravely and without fear. Secondly, I think she was an extraordinary teacher. I know that she was a lawyer, but now I think of her as an extraordinary teacher. She taught us, modeled for us, how to approach cancer and how to approach life and to live. What strikes me so is that this young woman, this young woman had such a powerful voice and impact. And it wasn't so much with her words, it was with her deeds and actions. She taught us and showed us how she wanted to approach this. She was our leader, and we took her lead in this. And how did she want to approach this, and how did she want to approach her life? Let me give you an example of how I think she's an extraordinary teacher. Moments before one of her brain surgeries, and I'm pretty sure this was before a surgery, she handed me a book, and she's handed this book to many of you in this room. And the book is called Just the Little Things, A Celebration of Life. A celebration of life's simple pleasures. I know you can appreciate how extraordinary this is. She is going to surgery. She thought about purchasing books for all of us to teach us how to live and how to approach life. That is a lesson we will never forget. And that brings me to the third extraordinary thing about Tara. Her enormous heart, full of love and generosity. First, she loved her family so much. I know how much Tara felt love from all of you, from her sisters, from her parents, but I know you also felt so loved by her. She showed it every day in the simple ways and big ways. She loved her cousins too and her friends, and it is said that if you have one true friend in this world that will stand by you through thick and thin, you are truly rich. Tara is truly rich, and her family and friends have been so supportive and by her throughout this journey. Another example of her generosity and extraordinary heart is that while battling with melanoma, with the support of her family, Tara started the Tara Miller Melanoma Foundation to increase awareness and raise funds in support of new research and the importance of clinical research in melanoma. Last year at Penn, she spoke so beautifully at the 40th anniversary of our cancer center, and so many of us gathered here just in July to have the Make It the Best bash, and raised $330,000 in support of cancer research. So while she's battling cancer, she's thinking about how can I help people in the future. So this generosity of heart and spirit is another example of how extraordinary she is. Debbie and George, you've raised an extraordinary daughter. Watching you as a family has been inspirational and incredible for me to watch. I feel so lucky to have been a part of your family and to go through this with you. Debbie, you're an amazing, amazing mother. You have been there every step of the way. There wasn't a moment throughout this year and a half that you were not there. A relentless advocate, a tiger mom, if I can say that, but always caring for her. I'm in awe of what you've done, and I know she so deeply appreciated it. You're an extraordinary, extraordinary mother, and I want to make sure you hear that tonight. I know where Tara's bravery and heart comes from, and that comes from you. Finally, the fourth extraordinary thing about Tara is that the importance of humor and fun. She always knew the importance of living in the moment and having a good time. While sorting out her many appointments for scans or treatment, I always had to work around some social event. Going to a bachelor party in Las Vegas, going to Houston to watch the Texans. I needed to work my schedule around her social events. That is very clear. Tara and I texted a lot, and here's an example of one of our last text conversations. This was about 3 weeks ago, and Tara and Debbie were coming to Philly to attend the Melanoma Research Alliance event. Again, another example of her generosity. And I texted her, do you still feel up to dinner tonight? Tara says, yeah, my mom and I are on our way to Philly now. I have another event at 4. Have you ever known me to miss a social event? This is 3 weeks ago. Humor, you know better than I do her extraordinary humor, and I will just say that Her wit was wonderful. It was sharp and funny and often so irreverent. And I think she just had great one-liners and zingers. You know her collection of t-shirts, which was amazing. And she always had the right t-shirt for each brain surgery, which was really remarkable. That has never happened in my, again, 25 years, that someone had a perfect t-shirt, and even the monkeys at the Millers wore make the best of the t-shirts. So in closing, Tara was an extraordinary woman for all the reasons I have listed. I do believe she sent a very strong message to us all to keep living, loving, and laughing. That is the way she lived her life until the end. At the same time, she would want us to make a difference, and she would want us to continue the efforts related to her foundation. I can't think of a better legacy than that people follow her example of how she's lived and to make a difference in this world. So I want to propose two toasts. First, to the Miller family, and I don't have a glass at this moment, I'm going to have one shortly. To the Millers, what an amazing family you are. Your love for your family, the closeness, and how you handle this has been inspiration to us all. So first, we toast the Millers. And a big hug from all of us. Now, secondly is a toast to Tara, and I need to put a little bit of a costume on. Okay, so first, can everybody hear me? Yeah. After every brain surgery, she said, "Can I wear high heels?" And I don't wear high heels. And my toast to her, this is as high as I can wear. See why I don't wear this? This was a question every surgery. And now I have her hat from the Tara Miller Foundation. And now I have my silver lining. And I'm toasting with a pot belly milkshake. That's what I always wanted to bring her. So if we could all join together. Tara, we love you. You will never be forgotten. We promise to carry out your dreams and keep dancing in the rain. And make no mistake, she's watching us, and she will make sure we follow through on that. Tara.